Hey Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby, when pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl were a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Braves Country Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Howdy hi, and how the hell are you? And a happy spring training to you, girls and boys, here on the BCR. As we're set to bring you this game and get you ready for the boys of summer. Opening day is quickly approaching, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered out on the diamond. So kick back and relax. Grab you a cold one, as we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of radio baseball. we'll hit the lineups as the game moves on. Wherever you are, we'll take you out to the warm sunshine and the beautiful blue skies of spring training baseball. Make sure to hit that subscribe and set the alerts, as we've got a full docket of spring baseball coming your way leading up to opening day. So with the spring in our step, the wind at our back, and the sun high in the sky, let's put it all aside and head out to the old ballpark.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
Well, damn, I didn't know I was muted. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, howdy, hi. And how the hell are you? Hola, amigos and amiguettes. It's the Tigers versus the Braves today. And let's go ahead and hit a little bit of a roll call. So y'all heard nothing that I said. I forgot I was doing a lot of production the last couple of days. I know I haven't seen y'all, but I've been doing a lot of production the last couple of days, and because of it, I had my mic potted down so I wouldn't pick up anything as I was recording other things. Good to see you, Uncle Charlie and Chop Shop Jameson Taylor. Iron Lung. Who else do we have in here? I thought I saw a few others as we get rolling here. None of those will be jumping in. James Fisher King, good to see you. Buddy Elvis. I like that name. What else do we have in here? We've got Gary the Real McCoy. And scrolling through here, a lot of yapping back and forth between Iron Lung and Jameson. So I think that's, here we go, Denise. I thought I saw Denise in here earlier, but I wasn't 100% sure. Sometimes it'll scroll right by me while I'm getting ready for the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. We're just about ready to start. I don't know. I'm having issues with the MLB. I don't know what's going on. It looks like the Detroit Tigers are in their orange spring training gears. I saw it a second ago. I'll have to confirm that here in a second to make sure. But the first pitch is set up for right about now. I don't know what. I'd say the delay is most likely. ESPN's involved. So, and if y'all have not dealt with that ESPN app, holy cow, good for you. That thing takes forever to load. It is absurd. You'd think that someone that calls themselves the worldwide leader of sports would have an application and a website that works better than MySpace. Anyways, good to see you, Matt, downtown Brown. We're set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. Let's go ahead and hit the lineups real quick. Leading off for the Atlanta Braves, this is a road game for Atlanta. So it's John Heel. I had to look that up to double check because I heard some people calling him Gill, some calling him Hill. So I looked it up. It's actually pronounced John Heel. So I think a lot of the broadcasters are just getting used to the new name. Aaron Chunk is batting second, playing second. Heel, by the way, is the designated hitter leading off. So that'll be a lot of fun to see him. I would have liked to see him in the field to see what he has, but we still get to see him bat, and that kid can rock it. We saw him the other day. Jonah Heim is behind the plate. Heel, by the way, 19 years old, so don't expect him to be up this year, but he is coming up, and he is going to be here sooner than later. Tristan English is batting cleanup at first. Kiersey in right field, batting fifth. Hicklin in left field, batting sixth. Wisely is at the hot corner at third today, not at second. He kind of plays all over the infield. He is batting seventh. And Azakar is in center field. Jarvis is batting ninth and playing short. The man on the mound today for the Detroit Tigers is Framber Valdez. He'll be going head-to-head with Bryce Elder. And the Tigers are starting to take the field now. So it's a little bit of a delay. If you're wondering what's going on here, they are having a little bit of a delay. The Tigers are wearing the orange hats, orange jerseys, blue, navy blue lettering with the white outlines on the back with the numbers and the names, and the classic, I call it the Magnum PID, across the front in navy blue outlined in white. We're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. Valdez warms up his final pitches. Your Atlanta Braves wearing navy blue tops, Atlanta across the chest in red outlined in white. The batting helmets today are the navy blue with the white A representing the city of Atlanta. Ball caps are expected to be the spring training versions. Gray pants for the Atlanta Braves, as we are the road team. We're just about set. Pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves here on Braves Country Radio. John Hill is coming to the plate, and this rookie, like I said, he is the talk of camp. You're going to start seeing a lot of guys leaving from all the camps for the USA and the World Baseball Classic. That's why the Tigers will get to their lineup in a minute, but they have a bit of a skeleton crew as well. Heel digs in, Valdez the same, and yes, sir! It is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way. The swung on and chopped foul as we pulled the off the screen. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch to Heel. Bit of a closed stance from the right side. The 0-1. Right there. Snaps a nasty sinker at his knees. It's 0-2. Good to see Heel getting some at-bats against an elite starter like Valdez, see what he's got early on in his career. Just 19 years old is John Heel. The 0-2 pitch, check swing, fouls off his instep. We'll do it again. He's gone sinker, sinker. That last one was a curveball. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball down and away. Tried to get him a chase. No dice. One-two count. Swing. Chops that one off his instep. One-two count, nothing. Your score just getting started here. In the top of the first inning. The 1-2 pitch, swing, slaps it over to the right-hand side. Should be an easy play over there for the second baseman of the Detroit Tigers. 4-3 on the putout. Peck to Valencia, one away. Left to right across the outfield for the Tigers. It's Carpenter, Meadows, and Vierling around the horn left to right as the first pitch on the way. The Chunk is upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0. It's Young, Cruz, Peck, and Valencia from third to first around the horn. Rogers is behind the plate, and Valdez is on the bump. The 1-0. Down and in. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. The pitch on the way. Snaps a sinker at the knees. Valdez has that pitch working well. He signed a free agent deal in the offseason with the Tigers. He'll be with them for the next 3 years. Looks like Chunk is going to challenge that. We'll see how this plays out, but it doesn't look like he's going to beat that one out. Now it smacked the inside for a strike. So one of the challenges is gone, and that's why when these games start counting, you're not going to have guys like Aaron Chunk, if they were in the lineup, to be allowed to do that kind of thing here in the first inning. The 1-2 pitch, swing, bangs it foul. More on John Hill that was just at the plate, the leadoff man for the Braves. He's listed as third baseman. He's getting a lot of play at shortstop because the Braves know, if you do the math, there is no room at third base as long as Roster Miley's there. But they do have a question mark at shortstop for 2027. The 1-2, swing, rolls it over to third. This will be a tough play. Scooped up by the third baseman. And he'll grab it, fire it to first, but nowhere near in time. Young to Valencia, but it'll be an infield single for Chunk and your Atlanta Braves. Good hustle down the line. So John Hill, he is listed as 5'11", 175. That kid is built like a brick. You know what house. I'm not buying those numbers. The first pitch on the way is down and in. It's 1-0. You might be able to talk me into the 5'11" part, but he is, he looks like he could play tailback for the Falcons. The 1-0 count. Swing, chops it down. I just wonder if these numbers here have not been updated because he's not on the Major League roster, and these may be numbers that when he first came onto the minor league system. Started with the Braves in 2023. The Braves system 2023. As the 1-1 swing pops it up high in the sky. Lazy fly ball into shallow center field. Coming in making the catch is Parker Meadows. 2 down. But last year in the minor leagues, so his numbers aren't going to blow you away, but when he tattoos the ball, he is smoking it. Now realize he's still just 19 years old right now I don't have the birth date in front of me, but I believe he turns 20 later this year. And as Tristan English steps at the plate, the first baseman for the Braves today, first pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup, runner at first. 2 outs. Valdez comes set, the pitch, swing! That ball's ripped towards left field, drifting over, making the catch in left field is Kerry Carpenter, and that'll end the inning. The Braves get one on but fail to score. 0-0 your score. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning here in the Grapefruit League in sunny Florida.
We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak. We started watching the WNBA. What happened? Like, I don't...
Oh my God, I'm so hungover. I've never been this hungover. Are we dead?
I feel great. I ran 5K this morning.
Really?
No, I threw up in the shower.
In 2008, Pat McAfee kicked a 52-yard
field goal against Cincinnati to send the game into overtime. It was a night game in Morgantown and about 38 degrees outside.
The Battle of Gettysburg took place
on July 1st to July 3rd of 1863.
That is correct. This morning, your wife texted you to pick up what item on your way home?
Mayonnaise.
From the start of 1961, history was being made as John F. Kennedy, the country's youngest ever elected president, was sworn into office. From the space race to the building of the Berlin Wall to the dance craze known as the Twist, a new day was dawning, and baseball was also coming to an historic crossroads.
For 60 years, from 1901 through 1960, the two major leagues had each consisted of 8-team leagues, and they played a very predictable set number of games, 154.
But in 1961, that would change as the American League added 2 new teams. The Washington Senators were moving to Minnesota to become the Twins, only to be replaced by a new Senators franchise in D.C. There was also a new team in Los Angeles, the Angels. And as a result of the expansion, the AL would play 162 games instead of 154. The National League was still on a 154-game schedule and wouldn't expand until 1962. But the NL had already changed in a different way. The league had been tapping into a deeper pool of talent and had won 5 of the last 7 World Series titles, including 1960.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Bryce Elder is on the bump today for your Atlanta Braves. 5.30 ERA last year, but is expected to make the rotation this year. First pitch on the way is a chopper in front of the mound, jumping on at his time. He'll flip it to first. That'll be an easy 2-1 put out, 2-3 put out, I should say. One way. Oh, Charlie, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I know why. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Rogers, the number 2 hitter, is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Left to right across the outfield for your Atlanta Braves, it's Hicklin, Azakar, and Kiersey. Around the horn, left to right, starting at third, going to first, is Wisely, Jarvis, Chunk, and English. Heim is behind the plate, and of course Elder is on the hill. That pitch to Jake Rogers is down below the knees. It's 1-1. Detroit Tigers batting order today is the 1-1. This is 2-1. Try to give him a chase that sinker. Leading off was Meadows, and then Rogers batting second. He's the backstop for the Detroit Tigers. 2-1, down below the knees, 3-1. Struggling with the command of that sinker early on. Matt Vierling is out in right field. Carpenter in left and batting cleanup. Number 5 hitter Dingler, the DH. Pitch on the way. The 3-1 pitch is swatted to center field. That's down for a base hit. And it's a 1-on, 1-out situation here for the Tigers. You get them rolling here in the beginning of the first inning. Cruz is batting 6th. He's the shortstop. Valencia is at first, batting 7th. Jace Young, the third baseman, is batting 8th. And Peck is batting 9th and at second base. Good to see Rips here as the first pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. See who else we missed. I think we got Iron Lung earlier. Good to see B.A. Baracus. The 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. I think Uncle Charlie was here at the beginning, but maybe not. Good to see Uncle. And I missed this Iron Lung. Apologies. Thank you for gifting some of the viewers some country club memberships. The 0-2 pitch. Swing, chops it over to third, and that's going to be a bouncer. But just foul. Wiley was ready to flip it to first. 0-2. Country club membership gives you the emojis and access to other things. Also helps support the channel. It's just $2.99 a month, which nowadays, what can you buy for $3? I'm trying to think, because I went shopping the other day. You couldn't even find the cheap loaf of bread in Publix anymore. It's up to over $3. The 0-2 swing, fouls it away. We'll do it again. And that's that bread you buy that you're like, okay, but I'm not excited about this. So it's eventually going to go bad because you're never going to eat it. Because it's just, you might as well be toasting paper. The 0-2 right there. Oh, man. That looked like a good pitch. In fact, it did hit the zone according to the StatCast that I have in front of me. He did not get the call. I mean, that was right there. It's a good frame job by Heim as well. The 1-2 count. Flips it over to first, keep the runner close by. One-two in the dirt. 2-2. So this week, what you have for you here on Braves Country Radio. Tomorrow is an off day for the Atlanta Braves. Wednesday, we're going to bring you at the same time, 12:45 first pitch. The Atlanta Braves are going to be hosting the Columbia baseball team, which means most of our stars will be in, and should be a pretty good matchup. It'll be a showcase of some of your better major league players playing for Columbia as the 2-2's in the dirt. Slider missing. So that'll be Wednesday. Thursday, we're taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. The 3-2 pitch swing, chops it over to short. It's going to be a quick 6-3 put out. The runner was on the move on that play, so he'll be safe at second with 2 outs. And so Thursday is the Blue Jays at 12:45. So 3 day games today, Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, the USA baseball team gets it going. First pitch on the way is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Trying to work it into my schedule. I do believe we're going to get it done. Before I misspeak, I want to double check and make sure they haven't changed anything. But on Friday is the 0-1 pitch, swing, lifts it, high and deep, into left field, bending, just foul. It had the distance, but it was swerving all over the road and went into the ditch on the left-hand side, 0-2. Yes, it is available. Okay, so what we're planning on doing, you're going to see, because I'm not going to switch feeds. It's going to just take away from the USA baseball as the 0-2 pitches in the dirt. 1-2. They're going to flip it down to second to catch the run. Oh, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Good throw by my man Jonah Heim. That'll end the inning. We'll head to the second inning. We'll talk about the Braves coverage on Friday when we return. 0-0 your score. Jonah Heim flashing the leather, son.
Repeat after me. I don't need validation from strangers on the internet. All together now, I don't need validation from strangers on the internet. I'm gonna make a TikTok.
I'm not going to the hospital just because she decided to get a chest piercing. What even is that?
Stop calling it a chest piercing. She was stabbed multiple times.
Dad, I've been thinking, and I think your generation and mine aren't really that different. Your grandpa used to feel the same about you that you feel about us, right?
So what?
Oh wait, see, we're the same.
We're different. At the end of the day, Grandpa and I could still sit down and talk. We had common ground like loyalty to family and country. You guys are not.
The NL won 5 of the last 7 World Series titles, including 1960. That year, the Fall Classic opened at Forbes Field.
Wednesday, October 5th, dawned bright and sunny. It was perfect World Series weather.
Representing the AL in '60 were the mighty Yankees, led by their power hitters Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Their opponents from the NL were perennial also-rans, the Pirates. Pittsburgh hadn't been in the series since 1927, when they had been pounded by the famed Murderers Row Yankees, led by Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
The 1960 Yankees showed up in that World Series with the idea that was going to be another of their 4-game sweeps, just the same as they had done to the Pirates in 27.
But these Pirates proved much more difficult to put away. Led by Mantle and Maris, the Yanks outscored the Bucks 55-27 in the series. But in the bottom of the 9th of a classic Game 7, Pittsburgh's Bill Mazeroski shocked the baseball world.
We just will never forget that moment. Anyone who was there or any of the players that participated in that game will never forget that sight with that ball clearing that fence at that time.
Today we talk about baseball's
I
first...
didn't even know it was possible to argue about a topic you agree on until I got married.
Who else remembers seeing White Dog?
Welcome back. Braves nothing, Tigers nothing, lefty-lefty matchup. Kiersey versus Framber Valdez. First pitch is chopped foul off the plate. It's 0-1. Misses. Evens up the count at 1-1. One count. Bender in the dirt. Ball 2-1. 0-0 your score here in the top of the second inning. The 2-1 pitch. Valdez. Check swing. Bust him on the inside with the sinker. Could not hold up. Pitch was a little bit off the plate, but hard for Kiersey to hold up. Sean Kersey digging in on the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the nasty slider. More of a fall off the table slurve that Framber Valdez has perfected. 1 away. So we're changing the time right now. What you are going to see is that on Friday night as the first pitch on the way, swung on and ripped over to the right-hand side. That's going to squeak through the infield. Diving attempt over there by Valencia, but your Atlanta Braves got 1 on and 1 out. The 1-out single for Mr. Hicklin. Good piece of hitting there. Went with the pitch. It was out on the right side of the plate, and he just shoved it into right field. top for a strike. Looked like the sinker, 93 miles an hour on the outer edge. It's 0-1. So what you're going to see on the Friday broadcast is that you'll see USA Baseball coming on at 5:45. Well, they don't play until 8. As the 0-1 flips it over to first. Runner back. What we're going to do from about 6 p.m. to about 7:30 is we're going to bring you Braves versus Twins. It's a night game for the Atlanta Braves. And then as the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, throw comes down to second base, runner on the move, and that ball's going to get away. He'll stay where he's at as it rolls into center field, but it's a stolen base. By Brewer Hickey. So anyways, back to the schedule there that I was talking about. Friday, we're going to come on the air at 5:45. The USA doesn't play until 8. And we're going to go Braves versus Twins and then start getting ready for the USA game as the 0-2 pitch is down and away. Curveball well off the plate. Good take there by Wisely. It's 1-2. And then we'll have to start setting up for USA versus Brazil. But we'll keep the feed going. It's the 1-2 count. Time is called. And we'll leave the Braves score up while we're getting ready for it. But I need a solid 30 to be able to get lineups and everything else in. But as opposed to just starting up a new feed and everything, we're just going to. So you're not going to see Braves in the title, though if you go into the actual description, you're going to see the explanation. And the reason why is I don't want to confuse people when the USA game gets started and they think that they're tuning in for one thing and getting the other type of thing. So those who know, if you know, you know. That's the best way I can put it. And then we'll get you ready for, just look at it as a pregame show. It'll be Braves versus Twins. 1-2 count, swing, chops it down the line. Foul. Saturday, it's Great Britain versus the United States. That should be a lot of fun. That's a Saturday night game as well. We will come on at 7:45. Then the Braves play earlier in the day. We won't be able to bring that to you. We got a couple other obligations, but USA Baseball, that's taking the forefront here for the next couple of weeks. That's going to be what everybody's going to want to pay attention to. The 2-2 count, lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Right there, caught looking, punched him out. Backwards K in the scorecard. Two down. Runner still at second, nobody out. Fernando Valenzuela's second strikeout today. So I believe we have that updated 5:45 on Friday, not what we had put out on our post earlier today of the 8 p.m. First pitch on the way to Azakar on the right-hand side of the plate, lefty-righty matchup. Bangs a changeup down the third base line. It's 0-1. The 0-1, swing. Dribbles it down the line again. This time the curveball, it's 0-2. 0-2 count. Lefty-righty. Kicks and fires. Inside, almost gets him. 1-2. Braves nothing, Tigers nothing. Framber Valdez versus Bryce Elder. We're here in the top of the second inning at Detroit Tigers Field. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Chase that curveball down and in. Nasty pitch, and that'll end the inning. Framber Valdez appears to be in midseason form. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the second we go. It's all tied up. Tigers and Braves, oh my.
I wasn't flirting. I'm naturally adorable. If you have a problem with that, take it up with God.
Garlic bread is my favorite food. I could honestly eat it for every meal. Or just eat it all the time without even stopping.
You get fat.
No, why would I get fat?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
Everybody grown until it's time to communicate, apologize, or tell the truth.
I think Hamon Kilibro was the best home run hitter I ever saw. He hit 47, 48, 49 home run every year.
Oh, he really hit that one. One team that would not contend in 1967 was the New York Yankees, but Mickey Mantle would give Yankee fans one memorable moment to savor as he became just the 6th player in history to hit 500 homers.
There it goes! It's out of here!
Mantle had finally become the favorite son of New Yorkers after struggling to live up to the legendary Joe DiMaggio. This was something that Red Sox outfielder Carl Yastrzemski could relate to, as he had been trying for 6 years to replace a Boston icon.
Taking over for the greatest hitter that ever lived, Ted Williams, and the pressure on him was tremendous.
Williams was very outspoken, very opinionated, very talkative. Yastrzemski, on the other hand, was kind of shy, kind of withdrawn, kind of introverted.
Being a youngster at 21 years old, I would like to have come into the big leagues, been unnoticed, and not taking Ted Williams' place or being called the next Ted Williams. I think it would have made it much easier for me.
He wasn't hitting for power. He had 300 batting averages, 1 batting titles, but the fans still weren't viewing him as this is the Yaz we expected. They wanted 30, 35 home runs, 120 RBI, plus the batting, plus everything else.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. First pitch on the way, Bryce Elder's start here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Kerry Carpenter, 26 home runs last year. Makes the 1-0. Just off the plate, 2-0. Both those pitches barely missing the zone. They did appear to be balls. Two-0 count. Right there, top of the zone. Did not get the call there as well. Ball 3-0. He's just missing. He's hitting that area that would be considered as a 3-1 pitch, taking all the way right there. Sinker at the knees. 3-1. It's right in that area that honestly before the ABS system came into play, I think more likely to get a strike is the 3-1 pitch. Swing, swats it away. What I really think you're going to see more than anything else from the ABS system, forget the strategy on when you want to take it, when you don't want to take it. It is going to increase offense, and that's why baseball is going to. That's always their bottom line. They always want to go to the offensive side of it. You're going to shorten the strike zone as a 3-2, swing and a miss. Slices it foul. I don't know why I said miss. So a full count. Every time they close the strike zone, and they've done it over the years, less officially, is a 3-2 swing. That ball's swatted into right center field, down for a base hit. Cutting it off is Azekar, firing it to second base, and he will keep Kerry Carpenter to a long single to start off the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Tigers. Good job by Azekar to keep that from rolling to the wall. Carpenter with decent speed, but he's not looked upon as a speed demon per se for an outfielder. First pitch on the way is outside wide to Dylan Dingler. It's 1-0, or as we like to call him here, Dirk Diggler. We saw him a lot in the postseason last year, the 1-0. Up top, first strike, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Swing, rips it up the middle, and that's going to be a diving stab. And oh my word, you talking about a pretty 6-4-3 double play. Jarvis to Chunk to English. 2 down. To be clear, the anniversary is not anytime soon. It's but I've already looked at it. It's in April. I mean, I guess it is kind of soon. We were looking at it because it's a big one. It's the 10-year. We were like, man, I was like, let me guess. They're playing a damn doubleheader or something, but luckily they're off. First pitch on the way is down and in. Swing and a miss for a strike. It's 0-1. I wanted to get married on St. Patty's Day, Charlie. So I felt like it'd be really easy to remember. Nothing your score. Braves and Tigers. Pitch up top, misses high, ball 2-1. Cruz the batter, Eldred the pitcher. We're here in the bottom of the second inning, 2 outs. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So it's funny, we both have a hard time remembering what the date is. The 2-2 pitch swing, bangs it on the ground. And that's going to be a diving stab over there by Chunk. I'll tell you what, love Chunk over here, baby. He's making some plays. We'll be back in a flash. It's 0-0. We go to the top of the third here in Braves country.
I don't know. I drink too much and I black out.
You black out?
I black out.
When's the last time you blacked out?
Like last week. Now I'm sober right now.
You're not sober right
yes,
now.
I am.
I'm looking at you.
All my life I'm sober.
Okay, ask me a question then.
Okay, what's your deepest insecurity?
That I have a bad personality.
You have a great personality.
You don't know me.
I love your personality.
Thank you so much.
I don't even know who you are. I just tell you have a great personality.
I'm a little drunk. Can I ask you a way worse question?
Of course.
Would you do?
Nah.
Why?
It's too small.
I don't think that matters.
It does matter.
You gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing.
Today we honor Willie Mays' wonderful career. He is the only player to have at least 50 home runs in a season and 20 triples in a season. Even more impressive, it happened only 2 years apart. He was always in contention for the MVP award, receiving MVP votes in each season from 1954 to 1966, a stretch of 13 years. He was an extra base hit machine, hitting at least 70 extra base hits in 13 straight seasons. His 18 All-Star games as a starter is the most for any player in Major League Baseball history. Some say they invented the All-Star game for Willie Mays. He is the best center fielder of all time. His 12 Gold Gloves are the most by any center fielder. He is the only player in MLB history with at least 3,000 hits, a 300 career average, 300 home runs, and 300 stolen bases. He had 4 home run titles, 4 stolen base titles, and 1 batting title. He also led the NL 5 times apiece in OPS and slugging percentage. He was the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 50 home runs and steal 20 bases in the same season. He finished 6.6 WAR shy of the all-time mark for position players, despite missing most of the 1952 season and the entire 1953 season while serving in the U.S. Army. It didn't matter the situation, he always produced, batting over 300 at home, on the road, against right-handers, left-handers, and every month with the exception of July. He had 17 20 home run seasons, 11 30 home run seasons, 6 40 home run seasons, and 2 50 home run seasons. The Say Hey Kid. Thank you for all you did.
Welcome back. No, I did see the comment, Charlie. That's why I clarified that wasn't our. So we got married in April. Lefty-lefty matchup here to start the top of the third inning. Jarvis the batter. First pitch, check swing, went around. It's 0-1. But I wanted to get married in March, specifically because in Florida, you don't know if you're going to get a cool or a hot day in April. It's the 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And I know if you're in March, it's probably going to be nice. It may be a little chilly, but it's not going to be cold. And you know it's not going to be, well, you don't know that, but you expect it not to be blazing hot. It's one of the reasons why the TPC got moved to March on the sports calendar. Is the 0-2 swing, chops it over to first. That ball's going to go off the glove of Valencias, and it's going to ricochet into right field, and it's going to be an E3 in your scorecard. But Jarvis is going to be standing on second base. So I think that's how it all started, Jameson, was about the Phillies playing like that's how this conversation all began. But anyways, runner at second, nobody out. E3 on the scorebook if you're scoring at home. First pitch on the way is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. And I was aiming for the St. Patty's Day weekend because I knew I had to have a better chance of remembering it. It's the 1-0. Swung on, chopped over towards short, and quickly on the move, on contact, Jarvis headed to third. So that's going to be a good base running play. They'll go to first on the 6-3 putout, but Jarvis now 90 feet away. It's one of those things they always tell you don't do it if the ball's hit in front of you. But Jarvis, with really good speed, read it right. He knew that where that ball was hit, the shortstop was going to have to turn and fire a perfect play with the third baseman on the run they never would have gotten. So the infield comes in. Pitch on the way, drifts a slider up top. It hit the zone, but they did not get the call. It's 1-0. Catcher Rogers looked back as wanting to know if it was a strike or not. So already they're giving, as the 1-0 chops it foul. So they've got someone in there looking at it. You can tell just by Rogers' reaction. But by the time he realizes it or gets that information, it's too late. Like you have to put your appeal in immediately. 1-1 count. Swing, chops it. Hard hit ball over to short, but it's going to be right at the shortstop, Cruz. He'll flip it to first, 2 down. So a good job of getting the ball on the ground and hitting it hard. He just hit it right into the teeth of the defense. But anyways, it got pushed to April, and now the only way for us to remember, I have to go back and look at the box score of a certain baseball game to figure out what week it was we got married. First pitch on the way is down and in to Heim. It's 1-0. Because we went to a game, we went to a Tampa Bay Rays game as a short of it. And I knew who pitched that day, so I always look at the pitchers. I go, okay, so subtract 2 days. That's when we got married, the 1-0. Down below the knees, 2-0. And we didn't just do that we never really got a true honeymoon, but we didn't just do that for a honeymoon. We did that when we went to SeaWorld because she loves animals and all that kind of stuff. And so we just made it a whole thing down there. But how I always remember it is so-and-so and so-and-so squared off in the Tampa Bay game on that day. The 2-0 pitch, swing, rips it over to third, and that's going to be a 5-3 put-out, hard hit ball by Heim, but no dice. We'll head to the bottom of the third, 0-0 your score. Braves and Tigers squaring off in the Grapefruit League.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I couldn't stand watching anything with subtitles. Now I literally need them because I can't understand anything them people be saying.
Brother, first time hearing this joke, and let him hear this joke, test out his mentality right here. So you had these two dudes, they was dating, but their relationship was kind of rocky. So one of the dudes wanted to spark, add some flames to the relationship, so he went and got this little game. Came home, the other one came from work, he said, listen, I got this game, We're going to play. It's supposed to help spark our relationship. He said, okay. He said, what I got to do? He said, you got to take off all your clothes, and I got to blindfold you, lay on your stomach. He said, okay. He reached in the new game, pulled out a feather. He said, you got to guess. When I touch your body, you got to guess what it is. He said, okay. He rubbed the feather on his back. I said, is that a feather? He said, damn, you got me. He said, now we got the switch. He took off all his clothes, he blindfolded, switch. So the other dude, he wasn't going to get nothing out the box. He wanted to be slick, so he ran outside when he got a water hose. He took it and rubbed it across his back. He said, damn. He said, that water hose? He said, damn. Hey, you got me. So they switched. He laid back down, and he tried to be slick now. He said, all right. He ran upstairs. He went to the bathroom, and they went and got the, no. Then they went and got the, oh, you played this game before?
This is 6 things you didn't know about Darryl Eugene Strawberry. Number 1, Strawberry and Howard Johnson are one of only 2 teammates to have ever gone 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases in the same season. Number 2, in 1988, he hit a 525-foot home run that struck the roof of Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Number 3, he had 2 3-home run games in his career. Both came against Chicago teams, and there were almost 11 years to the day between each of them. Number 4, he was the starting right fielder in 5 straight All-Star games, and he appeared in a total of 9 All-Star games, including 8 in a row. Number 5, his 252 home runs with the Mets is a record that still stands. Number 6, and let's not forget he was part of the 1992 Springfield Nuclear Power Plant softball team that went on to become the 1992 city champ.
Welcome back. Yeah, Iron Lung. I'm right here in North Florida. The original SeaWorld is in Florida. It's right there with Busch Gardens. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I like Busch Gardens a lot better. they got bear ripping all up and down the streets. First pitch on the way to start off the bottom of the 3rd inning is swung on and roasted into left field, and it is a leadoff single for the Tigers, and Valencia, the first baseman for Detroit today. First pitch on the way is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Up top, this is outside 2-0. I think I've heard people talk about that before, by the way, Iron Lung, about moving the WBC in the middle of the season. It's just not going to work. It's not like hockey and basketball. Who is going to pitch in it? The 2-0 swing, chops it over to first. And that's going to be a 3-6 to 3 double play. So that'll wipe out the leadoff runner. And there's 2 down here in the 3rd. The other reason is I don't want to interrupt the baseball season for that long, because it's all about timing, not just with the pitchers but also with the hitters. You would come back to some rusty-ass baseball. And it's perfect where it's at. First pitch on the way to John Peck is down in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swing and a miss. And I get it. You worry about pitchers getting injured more than anybody else in the WBC. Is the 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Yeah, the only way to get around that would to make it where you couldn't use any of the major league pitchers in the WBC. When I say major leagues, I look at as the MPB and the KBO is a major league as well. As a 1-2 down and away 2-2. And make it where it's nothing but prospects / college players, that kind of thing, on the pitching scale, because they could take a break in the middle of their college baseball season and pitch. Now, what you'd get is some big, really high scores, but there is no perfect answer to it. They do it as close to opening day as they do is the 2-2 right there. Bang at the knees. Good sinker by Elder. Respect your elder, baby. We'll be back in a flash, talk more about the WBC and everything under the sun when we return here in Braves Country.
Something that's not a cult, but seems like a cult.
People that eat sushi. All the ways you could cook fish. You chose none of them. Nope, you eat it raw and wrapped in its own habitat. Then you dip it in something looks like green Play-Doh. Tastes like the center of the sun. Who hurt you?
Could NFL guys play in the NBA? Could NBA guys play in the NFL? And then
this conversation been following us
everywhere. Do you guys feel like baseball players would be the best?
Name me an NFL player who could come out here and hit 300 or hit 20 home runs. Tell me one who can hit a slider. I just faced this man named Waldron, and he threw a knuckleball. Brother, come on. And listen. Tell me how many Rangers swore a sinker, bro. I swear. They're not hitting that. They ain't hitting none of that. We'll say it like this. I could go be a quarterback. I can go throw that thing. And I'm going to go and listen. And he's going to go get it. I need a circuit. Take all football players, basketball, baseball, and do like 7-on-7 flag football, basketball game. Then they go around, and when they get to the baseball, put the machine on 95 and see how much of them going to hit a homer. None. I know baseball players who could dunk 360.
So baseball has the best all-around coordination.
I would say, yeah.
Hey, Mom, we're running a little bit late, so I don't know if we're going to have time to stop at Buc-ee's on the...
We stopping at Buc-ee's.
But, Mom, we might be late.
We stopping at Buc-ee's.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the history of the bullpen cart. The first bullpen cart was a little red auto used by the Cleveland Indians in 1950. The White Sox would take it one step further the next year and become the first team to transport the pitcher from the bullpen all the way to the pitcher's mound. In 1959, the Milwaukee Braves used a locally produced Harley-Davidson topper with a sidecar as their bullpen cart. The Mets would follow suit in 1967, but add an oversized team hat to the top of it. In the early 1970s, the Yankees used a Datsun 1200 painted with pinstripes. The Mariners began using one in 1982 that looked like a tugboat and was called the MS Relief. The last Major League Baseball team to use a bullpen cart prior to its reintroduction in 2018 was the Milwaukee Brewers when they phased out their motorcycle in 1995. In the last 7 years, the Diamondbacks, the Tigers, and the Nationals have reintroduced bullpen carts.
Welcome back. Iron, I respect your view because a lot of people have that as far as the pitchers are already being stretched out if you wait till July, but the team just wouldn't let them pitch. Think about how many pitching staffs are on life support by the All-Star game, and they're needing that break. There's just no way anybody would be available to pitch. Casey Mize, the pitcher, coming in for the Detroit Tigers. First pitch on the way is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. You're seeing some of these teams double up on their starters. Braves yesterday had a split squad, and one game was Grant Holmes. The other one was Raylo, and that's because of some of these days off coming up built in with the WBC schedule. The 1-0 fouls it back. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Like in theory, it works, but the reason why it doesn't work is because it's baseball. That's why hockey can do it. Basketball can do it. It's 1-1, swing and a miss, it's 1-2. And I know basketball ends up doing their any kind of Olympics and everything. It's always after the season. But hockey can do what they did because it's just not the same sport. The 1-2 count, swing and a miss, strike 3. What you just said, Iron Lung, is the reason why it's a bad idea, because that's how everybody would feel. Even teams that were already technically out of it, they're like, I'm not sending my guy out there to put extra innings on him. They could end up putting me behind the 8 ball at the end of the season. If the first pitch on the way, right there upstairs for a strike, it's on. Righty-lefty matchup. Kiersey, the batter. Taken upstairs for a ball. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Called for a strike on the up top edge. Looked like the splitter on the outer half. 1-2. 1-2 count. Misses the zone just below the knees. Ball 2-2. Think about how the last couple of years with the Braves have just been limping to the All-Star game. And we're not the only ones. I know we think, most of us fans live in a bubble as the 2-2 is banged down the line foul. We'll do it again. That's pretty common for Major League Baseball. To get to that spot and go, thank God we've got 5 days to reset, because at least two of your guys are about to walk in there with dead arm. The 2-2. Inside high, ball 3-2. Kiersey trying to work his way aboard. Braves nothing, Tigers nothing, top of the 4th inning. Braves are off tomorrow, and then we're back at it on Wednesday versus Columbia, the World Baseball Classic team for Columbia. The 3-2. Check swing, went around, strike 3. Slider on the outer edge, one away. Hicklin now the batter. 2 up, 2 down. Second strikeout by Casey Mize. First pitch is upstairs, swing and a miss at a 4-seam fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks and fires. Swing! Sails it back to the backstop. Bringing it on that one. That was 96 miles an hour by Mize. The 0-2. Down below the knees. 1-2. The 1-2 count. Hicklin trying to work his way aboard. Here's the pitch. Swing. Rolls it down the third baseline. This will be a tough throw. The throw comes down to first base. Just got him. Man, by an eyelash. 5-3 on your put out, and that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. It's 0-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and the Motown Cats will grab the sticks when we return.
Listen, I don't care who you are, what weight class you in, where you've been, I don't county you've been a part of. I'm ready to go whenever you are. I'm just saying.
A buddy of mine was like, hey, I'm going camping this summer. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I'm not a camping guy, okay? I prefer to not camp and shower. But I get the appeal. You get to bathe in a lake and poop in the woods like it's the 1700s, and you get to put food in a container so that a bear doesn't eat it or you, and you get to start a lot of sentences with, oh crap, I forgot the, and you get to disconnect from your phone and basic hygiene, and you get to wake up and go, did anybody hear that? And you get to stare out onto a beautiful lake and think to yourself, ah, this is what it's all about, right before a horsefly bites you in the face. And you get an overall sense of pride and poison ivy. So I don't mind camping, but I'll stay in a hotel nearby and I'll meet you up for some marshmallows. So
in 1860, someone came up with an idea. Why wait until it got warm to play baseball? We can just play baseball in the winter. And that's how baseball on ice was born. So how exactly does it work? It was still baseball, other than the fact that it was the mid-1800s, so pitchers were throwing underhand and gloves were nowhere to be found. One of the earliest documented instances occurred in January of 1860. Not only was there an increase at the gates, there was also an increase in collisions and falls. A year later, the Brooklyn Atlantics, one of the best teams in the National Association, beat the Charter Oaks 36-27 in the first game of ice baseball played in New York. Winds and terrible weather made things way more difficult for players who were already struggling at skating, and not long after, baseball on ice had reached its end. It did make a comeback for 2 games in 1884, but in those games, there was 27 errors. Can't say let's bring it back. Skeens on the mound with his 100-plus fastball, Ohtani at bat trying to take it 400 feet, players from both teams making diving plays and skates. I'd watch it. Would you?
Nothing. You score. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bryce Elder threw 3 innings, 41 pitches is all. Allowed 3 hits. And for Wentz You Came is onto the mound now. Joey Wentz, lefty-lefty matchup. Started off with Parker Meadows, top of the order. First pitch up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Next week, you can expect these starters to try to work into the 4th inning. And then into the 5th inning, the following start. The 0-1 pitch. Right there. Across the belt for a strike. It's 0-2, four-seam fastball. Joey Wentz is one of those guys who's going to be very important to the Braves pitching staff. He may start off as a swing man out of the bullpen, but I think he's going to get a lot of innings to give guys an extra day off when you want to go to like a bullpen type of game. Is the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. One away. Wentz looks sharp today, not like we saw him the other day. We know how good he was down the stretch for the Braves last year. He's one of the few bright spots. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way. Bouncer in the dirt. It's 1-0. Thomas Nido, the batter, lefty-righty matchup. 694 OPS last season. No home runs. The 1-0. Swing, swacks that thing down the left field line, but foul. That ball was smoked. The 1-1. Change up. Bangs the plate. 2-1. Yeah, Lung. I always get and look, they don't ever change anything with MLB The Show, but I still end up getting it with the 2-1 misses high. 3-1. Funny, my wife got me for my birthday this past year. She got me the 2 football games that came out, and I told her, I said, if you do this again, just get me one. I'll never have time to play 2. That college one is still in the wrappers. The 3-1 down and in, ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. 1 on, 1 out. Pretty much, and I play these games in their season, so I'll play the baseball one the entire baseball season at night after the game, when I get a chance. I don't get a chance to play it much, but I'll start a franchise type thing. And it also helps you, to me, as the first pitch on the way down and in for a ball, it's 1-0, helps me remember where guys are at this year, and also the new guys coming up, like what kind of stuff they have. And then it's also fun to laugh at the ratings that they give. I mean, when they have like Ozzie Albies at a 59 running rate, you're like, what are we doing? This guy is so much faster than that. The 1-0 down and away, 2-0. For those of y'all who play, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you could raise the steal or lower the steal, but the speed should be very close to what it is in real life. In fact, during the pandemic, we as the 2-0 count, quick mound visit as Heim goes back behind the plate. Runner at first, 1 out, the 2-0 count. Wentz comes set. Upstairs, misses high. Ball 3. They looked really good that first at bat. Now can't find the zone. But during the pandemic, we were actually playing as a 3-0 right there at the knees, 3-1. I don't think we were on YouTube back then. I think that was Facebook Live. Anyways, it was really, backwoods type of technology we were using. because we were sitting as the 3-1 pitch. Swing, bangs it down the line, foul, full count. We were on Facebook Live because of that's where our radio show was at the time. This is before we started doing Braves Country Radio. And didn't see the need to go on any other platform. So that's what we were trying to do is the 3-2 pitch, swing, pops it up. High down the line, fouling out of play. And we would set up, I believe it was iPhone or iPad, I can't remember which one, and we'd set it up in front of the television that we were playing on and just do it that way. And I was very shocked at how many people were watching just because it was the pandemic and we were so starved for sports. Yeah, I want to say we were using an iPad. You could hear the volume, and I would put the guy who I'm playing on speakerphone is the 3-2, down and in, ball 4. And he'll head on down to first. Joey from whence you came strikes out the first batter and walks the next 2. I see y'all are Xbox. I will never miss an Xbox. I'm a PlayStation. Nothing your score. First and second, 1 out. And I know certain people like one or the other. But my main reason for having PlayStation, always sticking with it. So when I first started this nonsense, and I don't play enough to be able to master all control. So I'm picking one system, I'm sticking with it, and that's where I've always been. Kind of like my theory with the phone company the phone type. First pitch on the way to Carpenter's down in for a ball. It's 1-0. I remember playing some NHL games a long time ago. It's been a while, but I remember they were really fun back in the day. I like Madden. The college football one, it's good, but I was picking one or the other, and I just opened Madden. Is that 1-0 runner's going to scatter back to their bases to first and second as Heim jumped up like he was going to throw it back, but he held on to it. One count, brings it, swing and a miss. 1-2. And we talked about doing this in the postseason a couple of years ago, I believe. We never have done it, but we really need to set up some kind of. If y'all will remind me when the season comes to an end, we'll set up something with the MLB The Show here on the channel. It skips my mind, and then by the time I think of it, I go, crap, the season's almost here. I don't have time to do it. The 1-2 count. Lefty. Wentz comes set and brings it. Check swing. Did he go around? They're going to challenge this. Heim thinks it was a strike. Looks like it was a strike on the board. Right now it's a 2-2 count. 2 on. They're going to say it missed. According to the ESPN box, it hit. According to the ABS, which is the only one that really counts, it did not. So a 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pumped a fastball by him that time. 2 down. 2 on, 2 out. Deuces wild here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Second strikeout of the day to go on with the 2 walks in this inning. Dylan Dingler, the batter. 13 home runs on the year last year. First pitch on the way is outside wide, a bender that misses. It's 1-0. You're probably right, Iron Lung. I don't think about it because I'm so busy with everything else. The 1-0. Swing pops it up high in the sky. Being fair caught over there, and that'll end the inning. Something I'll definitely look into, and you just need to keep reminding me, and we'll get it done. We'll be back in a flash. It's 0-0. We're going to the 5th inning. The Braves will grab the bats when we return.
Hey, first crack of the day, boy. We pour one out for Burger King. Man, they ain't got Burger Kings no more. I'll be looking at the throne being like, who sit on the burger throne, man? And I know people be laughing. I'm like, I know it funny, dog. They used to give out clowns, boy. Now you can't even find a number 9 chicken sandwich no more. They don't even want you to go up there anymore. I be in the drive-thru of like a Burger King like an hour away, and they be like, what you want, man? What's the point anymore? I'm like, come on, man. I know you got one patty back there. You the Burger King. You're like, King, Dad, man. They be tearing down the castles.
Here's Brent Rooker, and he swings, and he hits this one out to the middle of the field, and the center fielder jumps, and he misses it. And the runner is running, and he runs all the way, and he scores. And the A's take a huge lead, 1-0, and that drastically changes things here in the first inning. That ball went a long ways, and I think Brent Rooker's favorite color is green trees. Bayo has been struggling this year, and Brent Rooker really got a hold of that baseball. This one very high and very far, but sadly it didn't go over the wall because that wall was super tall, probably taller than the wall of China. Anyways, Jarren Duran, he's a really bad he's good, right? He's a good baseball player, and he missed that one. Just a bad, unlucky day for him. He couldn't jump 18 feet in the air like my grandfather could. That guy had some superpowers. Nah, I'm just kidding. And here's the pitch. This one swung on and missed. The A's getting ahead early once again. Let's see if they can add on.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Welcome back. Nothing, your score, top of the 5th. First pitch on the way is swung on and smacked through the infield. That's through the 4-3 hole, and it's a leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves. Good hard hit there up the middle. As Mize is back out there for another inning of work. Brett Wisely with the base hit. That'll bring Jose Azocar to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Brave center fielder standing at the dish. Casey Mize. Swing. Chopper back up the hole. That ball's going to get dribbled off the glove of Mize. It's going to roll harmlessly into the middle of the infield, and your Atlanta Braves will have 2 on, nobody out. And the number 9 hitter, Jarvis, coming to the plate. To see you, Richard. The first pitch on the way is a check swing down the third base side. It's going to end up being a 6-4. They did not get the double play. Ball gets away from the first baseman, Valencia, and Wisely takes advantage of that, comes home to score. It'll be an E6, I believe. Does it look like Valencia, most first basemen in baseball make this play, but it looked like E6. It technically bounced on the ground before Valencia could scoop it, so that will be an error. And Wisely took off running and alertly scored. It's 1-0. Good guys. First pitch on the way to John Heel. He swung on and broken bat over to short. It's going to be a 6-4 put out. Heel will be on with the fielder's choice. There's one away. I'll tell you what, Iron Lung, as soon as I get that game, we'll see if we can figure that out. We'll see if we can, if nothing else, I could put, what do they call it? The demos on there. Even if I'm too busy to do it. But there will be times, it's just going to be crazy with my schedule this year. Is the pitch on the way, runner goes heel, takes off like a bat out of heel, and he steals that base with ease. John Hill, I'd like to see a replay there. We get a better look at it. He was safe by a mile. It's 1-0. John Hill, the 19-year-old shortstop, third base prospect, is the 1-0 down and away, 2-0. 2-0 count. He's got good speed, but what has really impressed everybody is his bat speed and his hard contact rate in spring. Is the 2-0. Bang, right there at the knees to him. He hit a home run the other day, and I mean, that thing was scorched. Two-one count. Braves lead at 1-0, top of the fifth. Check swing, run around. He did not. 3-1. Junk at the plate, standing on deck. Would be Heim if the inning kept going. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, swing and a miss. Chased it up top. Full count. Came in with the high velocity fastball. Looked like about 95 miles an hour. Full count. 1-0 Braves. The payoff pitch. Swing, lifts it. High into center field, but not quite deep enough. It'll float into the glove of Meadows, and that'll end the inning. Braves lead at 1-0 on the throwing error as Wisely came around. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom of the fifth we go here in Braves country.
How to talk about somebody behind their back, the Irish way. So the first one I'm going to show you here is the dip your toes in technique. This is when you're with a friend and you want to bitch to them about another one of your friends, but you still want them to think you're nice. What I'm going to do is quickly dip my toes in with an insult. John seems to have an awful lot of time on his hands lately. Then pull back with a compliment. He's a good laugh though. Now we intensify. He mustn't be working at all, is he? But he's not the worst fella I've ever met in my life. I hear he can't pay his mortgage and his wife is cheating on him and everything. Now instead of a compliment, we're going to use a compliment that everyone knows is an insult. He's looking very healthy. That means he's fat.
I know I've said it more than once, but I am sick and tired of inflation. 4 years ago, all this food would have been $150. I just spent almost $400 on groceries. This is ridiculous. Like, hello, complaint department, is that you? Yes, it's me, Ashley.
Sometimes I think people underestimate just how good of a player Ichiro was. So here are some facts that show just how good he actually was. His 4,367 hits in his professional career are the most of any player in baseball history. He holds a single season record for most hits with 262. Even though he debuted at age 27 and had a 9-year career in Japan prior, he still managed to finish his major league career with 3,089 hits. In the first at bat of his third MLB game, he singled, which raised his career batting average to 300. From there, it never dipped below that mark for the rest of his career. If he came out of retirement, it would take 444 hitless at bats for his career average to dip below 300. It is estimated he had 694 infield hits in his career. His 329 average against lefties is the highest on record for a lefty batter since split data became available in 1974. He had 7 20-plus game hitting streaks during his career.
Welcome back. 1-0 your score. First pitch on the way to Wentz is down and in. From Wentz is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Swing. Chops it over to third. That's going to be off the glove of Wisely. He flips it over to first. Will he have time? He's got time, baby. 5-3 put out. Good hustle by Wisely as that ball ate him up, and he stayed with it and was able to get the runner one down. And typically that does not work out well. He got him by maybe a quarter step, if that. One to nothing your score, bottom of the fifth. First pitch from Wentz is down and in for a strike, four-seam at the knees. It's 0-1. Valencia, the batter, he's 1 for 1 on the day with a single to left. Brings it. Slider down and in. 1-1. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for your Atlanta Braves. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Detroit Tigers. Here in the Grapefruit League, just over as the 1-1 pitch is slapped over towards short. It's going to be a 6-3 easy put out, 2 down. Just over 3 weeks away from opening day.
What's for dinner? Hey, chef, what's for dinner?
First pitch on the way, swing and pops it up high in the sky. That'll be an easy F7 in your scorecard. The Tigers go down. 1-2-3. We'll be back in a flash. 6th inning we go here in Braves country.
Trying to get me to see your view about how maybe sometimes it's not the right time. Shut up. Shut up. We're saying Merry Christmas. If you don't like it, shut up and step aside. Not 1 inch, okay?
In there, strike 3, and he is good.
In 1981, a 20-year-old left-hander with a funky windup and a confounding breaking ball burst onto the scene and created a phenomenon so rare it ultimately bore his name, Fernando Mania.
Valenzuela is great. I love him. He's the greatest, and I think everybody here has Fernando fever.
Fernando Valenzuela did not possess a blazing fastball, but his screwball befuddled hitters.
Valenzuela delivers.
His delivery added to his allure. Fernando would lift his arms up over his head, then briefly turn his gaze to the bill of his cap before striding towards home plate.
In there, strike 3, and he is hooked at the side.
Fernando started opening day for the Dodgers in 1981 and went on to win each of his first 8 starts, 5 via shutout, posting a 0.50 ERA to begin the season. He ultimately became the first player, and still the only, to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in the same season. Although others came before him, Fernando Valenzuela established himself as the first Mexican superstar in the major leagues. Starring in LA made him an icon.
He was their hero, which was great. They needed a hero, and he represented their country in the highest degree of class, dignity, and character.
Fernando made 6 All-Star teams throughout his career, eventually becoming more workhorse than wonderkid. He led the NL with 21 wins and 20 complete games in 1986. And on April 27, 1990, in his final season with the Dodgers, he threw a no-hitter against the Cardinals.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. One to nothing your score. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Braves on top of the Tigers. Here at, I believe this is called Publix Park. I know they got Publix all over the place. The first pitch is right there for a strike. It's a 1. Double check that, see if they've changed it. line, lifts it to left field. That'll be a lazy fly ball at 7 in your scorecard. 1 down. Publix Field. I thought it was Publix Field. At Joker March. We'll just call it Joker Stadium. First pitch from Mize here to start off the at-bat versus Tristan English is a swing and a miss at the slurve. It's a one. The 0-1. Just misses. 1-0. That pitch at the same spot on the zone. 1-1. Swing, slice it foul. Looks, if the ESPN tracker's accurate, which hasn't been so far, one of them's a strike and one of them's a ball, no matter how you look at it. 1-2 count. Swing, dribbles it foul. We'll do it again. English. Tristan English, the first baseman for your Atlanta Braves. Bangs one over to second, and that's going to be an E4 in the scorecard, and the Atlanta Braves have one on, one out. Here in the top of the sixth inning, the third error of the day for the Detroit Tigers. English, by the way, Tristan English is from Stockbridge, Georgia. 6'2", 208. Played his college ball at Georgia Tech. Ran one rank at Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. First pitch on the way to Kiersey is lifted. Deep into left field, going back on the track. Get up, get going, baby. Oh my, a big fly for your Atlanta Braves. A 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves take a 4-0 lead. 99 miles an hour off the bat is showing. 368 feet. How far did it fly? 368 happy feet. First pitch misses up top for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Swing, chops it foul. I think I said 4-0. It's 3-0. 1-1 count. 2-run shot by him. That ball does not get out in any Major League Park, by the way. That thing scooted over the left field wall where there's the embankment of the fans having picnics there. Not only is it low, it's really close, and the wind was shoving it like it normally does in the Grapefruit League. The 2-1 pitch lifted, high into right field. That'll be F9 in your scorecard, 2 down. You love these spring training parks, the way they're set up, where you got those grass embankments with the fans. I mean, the fans are literally right behind the play. The first pitch on the way is high and outside the zone. It's 1-0. Brent Wisely, the batter, once again. He's 1 for 2. Came around to score his last time up off the arrow. 1-0. Swing. Lifts that. Deep into left field. Drifting. Just foul. And out of the reach. Well, Carpenter, who's giving it chase near the wall, in between the wall and the foul line, deep in the left field corner. Braves 3, Tigers nothing. Top of the 6th inning. One swing. Fouls it back. It's 1-2. Looking forward to see what this team can do when the games start counting. At least we've seen some more offense in this spring. And granted, none of these guys are going to be on the big team when we head north as the 1-2 in the dirt. Splitter misses, 88 miles an hour, 2-2. But all in all, you're seeing good swings, and you just got to keep these guys healthy. Can you imagine how much deeper this lineup would be if Hassan Kim and Sean Murphy were healthy? The 2-2 pops it up. F8 in your scorecard, that'll end the inning, but not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 2 on the board. It's 3-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th in Braves country.
You are the best idea man. Also, we're canceling all of your ongoing projects.
What about the Pawnee River Dam?
Dam's dead.
Where will all the water go?
Wherever it's headed now. The important thing is the dam is never happening, and your dream has been crushed.
We're very sorry.
I am not. Good meeting.
Everybody that goes to AA claims to be alcoholics. Well, how come I'm the only one that brought some beer?
There was a great story. Lisa Newhouse Saxon, who was a colleague of mine at the LA Daily News, she was covering the Dodgers and the Angels at a time when female sports reporters were pretty much banned. They were shunned. And she was at a game in Cincinnati covering the Dodgers, and she wanted to go into the locker room to do a story about Mario Soto. And they kicked her out of the locker room. The Reds people just had enough and sent her back. So she was just depressed. And the next day, she'd get on the team bus, and Vin was sitting there, and Vin said, "Come here, sit next to me." So she does, and Vin just said to her, without even saying what happened with the incident, he goes, "Who is it do you want to be like as a sports reporter?" She goes, "Oh, this guy is so popular, and this guy is really good." And Vin just said, you should really just be your authentic self. Just be Lisa. And from that, it gave her this great sense of confidence. And she actually she lived near him in Brentwood, and she went to church with him. He invited her to come to church with him, and it was just one of those blessings that you can't make up. And when Vin was inducted into the Baseball Reliquary, which is this great event we have out in Pasadena every year, Lisa did the acceptance speech for him and told that story. And I knew about that story, so Lisa that was her go-to story about Vin, this tomboy who grew up listening and wanting to play baseball, and how everyone says, don't meet your heroes. And she said, no, this hero was much greater than all I could imagine.
The umpire just stood up and said goodbye. As I am saying goodbye, I have said enough for a lifetime. And for the last time, I wish you all a very pleasant good afternoon.
Welcome back. Joey Wentz is back on the bump. First pitch swing, and the ball is ripped down the third base line. Foul. It's 0-1. Anderson now the batter. He's in for Peck. Lefty-righty matchup. Max Anderson. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing. Chops it foul. 1-2. Braves 3, Tigers nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning. Detroit made the postseason last year. Had a heck of a series against Cleveland as the 1-2. Swing and a miss upstairs. Strike 3. He went to all 5 games of that first. best of 3, I guess it was. I remember us doing the third and decisive game. As Parker Meadows comes to the plate, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is inside. Down and in, slider. It's 1-0. You know, y'all been talking about that Mr. Baseball, and I always watch baseball movies as the 1-0. Chops it over to first, flips it. That's going to be a close play. 3-1 on your putout. Close play. Good play over there at first base. It's Verdung in for English now. And Conley is at second base for Chunk. Other guys who are in now closely for Kiersey in right. Workinger in left for Hicklin. Luke Waddell at third base. And for Wisely is the pitch on the way, swung on and popped up out of play. It's 0-1. Thomas Nito, who walked his last time up at the plate. Wentz is looking to go through 3 innings as well. Bryce Elder, who got the nod today, 3 innings, 3 hits, no walks and a strikeout. Wentz, 2 2/3 so far, no hits, but did walk 2 and has 3 strikeouts. The 0-1. Right there at the knees, good pitch. That's the pitch that makes him nasty and hard to deal with. It's that hard changeup, it's 0-2. He's spotting that. It's really hard to lay off that slider that he likes to throw in the dirt. The 0-2 count. Swing, slaps it back foul. Anyways, I always watch these baseball movies leading up to opening day. It's a little weirder this year because of the WBC. I mean, realistically, my broadcast season really got kicking early this year. I still have a couple more that I need, but I don't remember the last time I watched Mr. Baseball. I have forgotten about that movie. I'm going to give it another go. The 0-2. Bangs it down the line, foul. For Love of the Game is the last really good one that on my list that I have left to watch. All the others I've seen. It's always, you always got time to put in a Tom Selleck flick. Yeah, he's a huge Tigers fan, is the 0-2. Outside wide 1. I think we still have a clip of him talking about being a diehard Tigers fan, and when he retired from the show Blue Bloods a few years ago, he finally was able to get to a game. It's the 1-2. Check swing. Slaps it out foul. Something to do with, they were doing a Tom Selleck day was what I remember. They had everybody showing up at the ballpark with Hawaiian shirts and tiger caps, or Magnum PI day, I guess I should say. 1-2 count. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Should be an F3 in your scorecard. It is, and that'll end the inning. Tigers go down in order once again. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning. Good guys on top, 3-0. We're at the bats when we return.
Get some more puppy dog. Get some more puppy dog. He's a cute puppy dog, and I love that puppy dog a lot.
Mom, can you believe they're still together? Who? After all the they've been through? Who? Your butt cheeks.
It's gonna be one of those days. The voices in my head are fighting, my imaginary friend is running with scissors, and at one point, one of my personalities wandered off.
Did you blow bubbles when you were a kid?
Yeah? Is that like a trick question?
No, I just ran into him today. He asked for your number.
Whether he was drinking beer, eating hot dogs, or crushing home runs, Babe Ruth was a legend. So here are some of his most ridiculous stats. His 60 home runs in 1927 were 14% of the Major League Baseball total for that season. There is not one person in MLB right now who's accounting for 14% of the home run total, period. The league average in 1921 was 59 home runs per team. The same total Babe Ruth hit all by himself. He batted over 350 8 times, won a batting title in 1924, and hit as high as 393 in 1923. Was anyone more dominant than the great Bambino during their career? You tell me in the comments.
He just had a style to him like nobody.
Rickey was Rickey.
Rickey was Rickey.
He was a hot dog. He loved being a hot dog. That means people paid attention.
Hits a homer, pop the collar.
Today, I'm the greatest of all time.
He's charismatic.
He was an innovator. He's got it! It still resonates with me.
He was a source of entertainment. I went to the games to watch what Rickey did.
He changed the whole game. Just watching him style around was a show.
He came up at a time when there was a behavioral code.
You gotta understand, old school, if you showed up, you got thrown at.
But with Rickey, I don't think he fed off anybody. I think he was his own man.
Please like and subscribe today. It helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Braves lead it 3-0. They got a choppy interview going on with Andrew Jones. He's heading to the Hall of Fame finally. Now we got to get Dale Murphy in. He's got a. So I saw a clip of him, but it wasn't. The audio was terrible, so we're not adding it to our mix. But the short of it is the first pitch on the way is right there at the knees. It's only one. And Dale Murphy's always so graceful and real class act, so he's never going to push back on anything. But they were asking him, is the 0-1 pitch, swing, bangs it over through the right-hand side. That'll get through for the infield. It's going to be a single out to right field as it sneaks through the 4-3 hole, and your Atlanta Braves have the leadoff batter on board to start the top of the 7th inning, leading 3-0. First pitch on the way is right there on the outer edge. The 0-1 swung on, lifted high and into left field. That'll be an easy F7 in your scorecard. Down. Jarvis down easy peasy. We go back to the top of the order. And John Heel is due up. We'll see if they give him a chance to bat. I believe they are going to leave him in. He is the designated hitter. There's a trainer out there looking at Breesky, the right-hander for the Tigers. They may have noticed something from the dugout. Now we got guys warming up in the pen. I don't know if he slipped off the mound or we're not showing a replay, so we're waiting on that to. But what? Back to the Dale Murphy thing that I saw, they were asking him about not being elected to the Hall of Fame, and he was talking about how in 3 years he's going to be eligible again, how he does believe he's a Hall of Famer, but he was really nice about it. But some of the idiots in the comment section, man, you just know that they don't know ball out there saying that they don't think he was a Hall of Famer. Some of the people claiming to be Braves fans. It looks like Brisky's going to come out of the game. So whatever it is, he couldn't talk his way into staying. They'll allow the man coming in to warm up to get plenty of time to warm up. So we'll stay here with you for a second at least. But you look at his numbers, it's absurd. I don't think a lot of people realize second most RBIs in the 1980s and tied for the most home runs in the 1980s. 5 consecutive Gold Gloves and 2 back-to-back MVPs. If that's not Hall of Fame, what the hell is? And look, I know he didn't have a great 15, 20-year career. If he did, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But that's the difference. The difference between a guy who deserves to be in eventually and a guy who deserves to be in on the first ballot. Andrew Jones got in on what was this, his 9th year, I believe. And Andrew has that same kind of career where there's 10 really strong years, and then you look on the outside of it towards the back end of his career and he falls off. That doesn't mean he wasn't one of the great players of the game during his heyday. And I'm sorry, but 10 years is 10 years. If you are tied for the most home runs and second in RBI for an entire decade, and you won 2 back-to-back MVPs, and you have 5 Gold Gloves, and this gets lost in the whole thing, the people who didn't watch baseball back then because they're too young. He was baseball for a generation of people growing up all around the country consuming the Superstation. And it's the same reason why, though his numbers are much less outstanding, I wouldn't have a huge problem with Don Mattingly getting into the Hall of Fame eventually. Because Mattingly was the same for an entire generation of New York Yankee fans, or New York sports fans. His numbers are a little less underwhelming, but not that much to where I wouldn't make a big deal about it. I'd be like, hey, it's great he finally got in. The Harold Baines thing was absurd. There's a lot of factors that went into that, and I don't know if some of these guys voting in the committee are afraid of that, but one of the problems is now that they've opened this up to the steroid cheaters, they're getting votes that guys like Murphy should be getting, and that's why I still have a problem with the steroid cheaters getting in on the committees, because they didn't do it the right way. And so as we're back to the action, the right-hander coming in for Detroit, Rodriguez. Moises Rodriguez, 6'2" right-hander, brings the first pitch down and away to Johnny Hill. It's 1-0. I mean, when he gets to the majors, by the way, Johnny Hill, I've already decided his nickname is going to be Johnny Bravo. The 1-0 up top for a strike. It's 1-1. But Murphy was an ambassador of the game for the entire 1980s. And Mattingly for the Northeast is the 1-1. Swing, lifts it high and deep into right field, drifting over, making the running catch. F9 your scorecard. Runner at first will tag up to second. And he's in scoring position. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Seventh inning stretch is on your way. I'm absolutely against Bonds, not just Bonds, McGuire, any of them getting in. As the pitch on the way is down and in. I guess he said that Conley went around its own one. I know there's a lot of people who really believe that he should be. No, I don't. 0-1. Swing. Rips it over through the infield. That's going to be an RBI single and a 4-0 lead for your Atlanta Braves. That is such a terrible argument that you put up on the internet. That, oh, you still got to hit the baseball. It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. Not only did the steroids help with the lift that you're going to get on the ball, but it's also the PEDs are helping you recover from injury quicker. They're going to toss it over to first real quick. Braves lead it 4-0. Runner back in time. And they say, well, he would have been in the Hall of Fame anyways. Then why did he do it? Sure he would have. It is ironic as hell, though. I saw the first pitch on the way is down and away from Baltimore. I saw a clip of Beverly Hills 90210 where Barry Bonds and his dad are playing golf with two of the guys on there. And the whole thing is one of the guy's dad is cheating at golf. And it's not the Bonds that are cheating. It's the I don't know the people's name in the show, but they're cheating is the first pitch on the way to Heim misses outside for Bullets 1-0. And the whole gist of it was cheating's wrong, and if we can't beat them the right way, we shouldn't. And this is like 5 years before he started shoving a needle in his rear end. Pitch on the way is chopped back to the mound. It's going to be a 1-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. Braves 4, Tigers nothing. Barry Bonds, cheater, pumpkin eater. We'll be back in a flash.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the top. Find me something of Cracker Jack.
Welcome back. Iron Lung, I got to know why is it you're wanting to give Barry Bonds lap dances? Are you a Giants fan? Is that like the team that you follow? Because every time this comes up, I always notice that you and there's one other person always wants to put him in the Hall of Fame when he doesn't deserve it. But I'm just curious because it doesn't track. Because I never hear you go to bat for Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Palmeiro, all the bums. I still say that 755 is the real number, and I won't back off of that one iota. I'm just wondering, like, at one point, were you a Giants fan as the first pitch, or maybe a Pirates fan, the first pitch on the way? Swung on, pops it up, high, deep into right field, drifting over, making the catch. F9 your scorecard. One away. That's a perfect example of Ken Griffey Jr. Had he gotten on the roids, his numbers would have been much better. Because remember all the years he lost because of injury. He's probably your home run leader with an Astrodome. First pitch is right there at the knees for a strike. Owen Murphy, the pitcher, one of the top prospects in the Braves organization. And I'll tell you what, that ball just comes out of his hands so smoothly. As the 0-1 misses high one. No, they said he went around. Okay, 0-2, my bad. The 0-2 count. Swing, rides it foul off the face mask of Burgess. Heim got out of there just in time. That was like a freaking pop to the mouth. The 0-2 count. Can you imagine what the number would have been if Babe Ruth was on steroids, the 0-2? Swing, lifts it deep down the right field line, going back on the track, and that ball is gone. A solo shot, and the Tigers are on the board. It's 4-1. Man, he cranked that pitch. He absolutely scalded that sucker down the line. 408 feet, Callahan. Big ball got out in a hurry. 104 miles an hour off the bat. And the Tigers trail by 3. The 0-1 right there for a strike zone too. But my biggest issue with them constantly trying to put them in like the Veterans Committee now especially is that guys like Murphy get screwed. Because how many guys voted for Bonds, Clemens, or whoever in this last go-around that may would have voted for Murphy? He got 6 votes, Murphy did, and he needed, 12. How many of those were taken away as the 1-2 right there? Caught looking, strike 3. And it's also unfair because they start comparing their numbers. They're sitting there looking at their numbers and they'll say, well, Bonds did this and Murphy did that. It's not the same thing if you cheated. 4-1 your score, but that's just my take. I know a lot of folks don't agree with it. Pitch on the way is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. And when guys and here's my other problem with that last committee that voted. Half of them had never played the game, right? Is the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. I believe these veteran committees should only be involved in ex-Hall of Fame baseball players. So an 0-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. The swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Yeah, if Acuna were on roids, how many MVPs would he have by now? At least 3. But then also the pitchers too, because I have just big a problem with Roger Clemens and Andy Pettit. The 0-2 swing, lifts it into right field, drifting in, making the running catch, and that'll end the inning. So they put one on the board, but the Braves lead it by 3. We'll be back in a flash here on the Braves Country Radio Network. Braves and Tigers, baby. Spring training baseball.
106 miles from Chicago. Got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. It's happy hour.
When wins become losses,
And losses become wins. You guys going to happy hour? Yeah? Yeah, I'll come for a couple. Just a couple, though. Not like last time.
When buying a beer, don't make this mistake. Buying only one beer can cause a misalignment in your spine due to the uneven weight distribution. This can cause unnecessary back pain and potential spine issues. To prevent this, carry 2 beers, ensuring your body is balanced and proper health maintained.
Okay. Let's get it!
Have dinner, ready?
Put my pants on, one leg at a time.
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is for...
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
You're in Braves country.
Drink a beer. Salute.
They're making it laws where you can't
drink when you want to. Pretty soon we're going to be calling this country.
Oh, yeah. For me and the Lord, you gotta understand it. We're on a mission for God.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to kill me!
I'm chomping at the bit to play some of these videos. We've got ready for opening day. I've been good so far. First pitch on the way is up top, misses high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Misses upstairs. Sinker. 2-0. The 2-0 count. Swing and a miss. Man, this kid's bringing it. Summers. We saw him last week. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. They're saying 94 miles an hour, but I'm telling you, this ball, we noticed it last time we saw it. This ball just pops out of the hand. He looks like he's throwing high 90s easily. The 2-2. Outside wide. Full count. Payoff pitch. Swing. Rattles it back foul. Drew Summers, the left-hander for the Detroit Tigers. 6'3", 250 pounds. Hoffman States, Illinois, got drafted by the Rays in 22. Is the payoff pitch. Down and in. Ball 4, so he'll head on down to first. Good at bat there to get the inning going. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way to Workinger. Patrick Klosik, Workinger's on deck. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing lifts it. High into left field. Drifting in, making the running catch. F7 in your scorecard. One away. So for Dung, who came in for English, is at first. You got Workinger at the plate, lefty-righty matchup. And Workinger takes the first pitch. Down for a ball, it's 1-0. Ethan Workinger, 685 OPS in Double-A last year. 1-0 misses high. Ball 2-2. It's been in the minor league since 2021 in the Braves organization. Lifetime OPS of 713 in those 4 stops. The 2-0. Right there for a strike. 2-1. He's hit a total of 48 home runs in those 4 stops, 16 last year, 12 the year before. 2-1 pitch. Inside. 3-0. Our next broadcast will be Wednesday as the Braves are off tomorrow. We're taking on Columbia from the WBC. They flip it over to first real quick to get the runner close by. Should be a pretty fun matchup. The Braves will be hosting, so they should have their starters in. Is it 3-1? Up top for a strike. 3-2. You could end up getting Chris Sale on the bump. In theory, that's 5 days, and that's what they did with them the second go-around. But you wonder if they may give him a little bit of a breather as the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball. I would prefer that he pitches Wednesday, even if he doesn't go even a little deeper, just to keep the habit of going on 5 days. Man, they coddled this pitching staff the last few years, and it didn't pay dividends. The pitch upstairs misses high. It's 1-0. Might as well get these guys used to a normal routine of going every 5 days. I mean, I remember it hasn't been that long ago, we'll say 10 to 15 years ago, where your number one starter, if there was a day off, someone just got skipped in the rotation because he was going every 5 days. It's 1-0 down and away 2-0. And then they overcorrected when they started getting some of these arm injuries. But I think that has nothing to do with how much rest you have in between starts. It has to do with the fact that they're trying to spin it, worrying about the spin rate is the 2-0 swing and miss 2-1. And that's essentially what caused Schwellenbach's injury, as he has stated, and you got to wonder if that had something to do with Waldrop. I believe Raylo's injury had to do with the fact that he was not used to all those innings and they put him on him, and he was cooked the next year. The 2-1 pitch goes to the backstop, rolls back to the catcher, but not before the Braves put a man in scoring position as the runner scoots down from first to second to a 3-1 count with 2 outs. Redundant second, the 3-1 slaps a slider in there, full count. Good to see you, Peter. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ooh, nasty. We'll be back in a flash. It's 4-1. Good, guys. We go to the bottom of the 8th. See if we can hold on to another W here in the spring.
What's your experience been like here at the baseball camp?
Pretty fun. I like playing first base and third base. And, I just came here to hit dingers and have a good time.
Y'all, my homie just pulled up and told me everybody business and had the nerve to ask me what I've been up to.
Your husband's money is not yours just because you pop some kids out.
You're absolutely right. Want to know why it's mine? It's not because of the kids. I have 2 of them, by the way. It's not because of the kids. Kids. You want to know why? Don't be spreading these lies. Your husband's money is not yours. Who the told you that? The air he breathes is mine, okay? I'm around people who have either been in me or have popped out of me 24/7. That is mine. All mine. You sound like you mad because you don't get no money. Does he have you on an allowance? Mine don't.
Best rapper alive.
Tupac.
There's a drive by Conigliaro, and it is out of here. What a bomb he is. Conigliaro hits a home run, his first time at bat at Fenway Park. And he gets a tremendous hand. What a thrill that must be for a 19-year-old boy. Look at that smile on his face.
Tony Conigliaro had tremendous charisma, a young guy, good-looking, personable. The fans loved him. The kids loved him. Everybody loved him.
Tony C. led the American League in homers in 1965 and was the second youngest player to reach 100 home runs. He and Yaz gave a Boston team that hadn't contended since the early 50s hope for the future. And the Sox had brought in new manager Dick Williams for the 1967 season to instill a fresh attitude.
The only thing I can tell you right now, I'll guarantee you we'll have a hustling ball club.
Your score, bottom of the eighth. We're heading to the bottom of the eighth inning. Braves lead it 4-1. Looks like Murphy's going to go back out there on the bump. Owen Murphy. 1-0 pitch as they were late to come back as it swung on and pops up high in the sky. It's going to be F7 in your scorecard. One away. Now Iron Lung's out there giving Xbox lap dances. PlayStation's better, Iron Lung. Pretty sure Xbox is on steroids. 4-1. Righty-righty matchup now. As Rucker digs in. Pitch is down in the dirt. It's 1-0. 1-0. Murphy spins and fires. Down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. It's funny that if you've played MLB The Show the last several years, though, is the pitch is right there at the knees for a strike. 2-1. I saw some guy rant, and he goes, why is it MLB The Show hasn't changed their game in, like, I forget what he said, like a decade, which is probably pretty accurate. The 2-1 misses high outside, ball 3-3. He was going on this rant, and then at the end he goes, I'm going to buy it again, but I'm just mad about it. That's why they don't do anything, because they don't want to screw with what has worked. Is the 3-1 count. Check swing, went around. Ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. So 1 on, 1 out. Oh, Peter, you're all upside down. It's PlayStation and iPhone. What are you doing? What are we doing? 1 on, 1 out. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way is down and away. It's 1-0. It always reminds me of that meme they had out. It's been a few years, but they had a meme. God bless. I bet that meme's close to 10. It shows this kid. Looks like about, I don't know, high school age. With the 1-0 swing, fouls it back. And he's wearing a fur coat in what looks like the halls of a school, like, I don't know, maybe a high school or whatever. And the caption, as he's kind of like, there's like a look on his face like, ick, get away from me. And then the caption read is the four-seam fastball. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The caption read, my reaction to people is the 1-2. Right there, caught looking, strike 3, punched him out on the outer corner. Good pitch by Murphy. 2 down. I tell you what, this kid's got good stuff. We may not see him early on, but I think we'll probably see him at some point this year. But the caption read, my reaction when somebody's broke ass asked me for an Android charger. It's just a funny meme, and I always think of that when people get to arguing about which one's better. First pitch on the way. Curveball down and in. It's 1-0. Willis. I don't really care. I don't have stock in either one of the companies. I just like to give people a hard time. 1-0 misses, ball 2-2. Once again, we were talking about this earlier, but the reason why you end up with certain things and stick with them, just you don't want to get a new device and learn new things. So if you always started off with that Android, you're sticking with the Android. Same thing with the iPhone. The 2.0 pops it up. And what advantages one has over the other, you're going to deal with it one way or the other just because nobody wants to learn new tricks, especially when you're talking about getting a phone or getting a gaming console or whatever. 2-1 count. Outside, high and wide, 3-1. The same argument for folks who remember this, old enough to remember. Remember there was a big argument on whether you should be VHS or Betamax? Well, that aged poorly if you pick Betamax. The 3-1. Swing, rips it down the line, foul, 3-2. And the people that fell for the Betamax would argue, hey, it's a better product, da-da-da-da-da. And not that it wasn't, but because it was more expensive, they started just making most of the stuff on VHS. And when you would go to the video store, you started the beta version just started disappearing. Payoff pitch from Murphy. Swing, rolls it over, foul down the first base line. But there's always something like that until there's a full-blown monopoly, and then you're stuck with what you're stuck with. The 3-2. And by the way, can they update some of these U.S. baseball hats and jerseys? They've been running the same thing for about 15 years. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. Murphy has coughed up a run in his outing, but looking pretty good. We'll go to the top of the 9th here in Braves country. 4-1 your score over the Tigers.
Rain delay.
Aloha, sports fans. You're looking live at the Garage Invitational as Stoney steps to the green.
Swing! Oh, it's a nice swing there, Alice. Yeah, does your husband play? Consolation prize. Thank you so much.
I'm going to shoot lefty, guys.
But you can't hit right.
Oh, this will be funny.
Come on, Mrs. Groundskeeper's going to be coming home soon. We got to get out of here.
All right.
Easy, guys. Give me the club.
One day you're going to wake up and roll over next to somebody that's completely obsessed with you. It's probably going to be a dog, but it is what it is.
I have a question for the boys. How much does an oil change cost? Because they told me that I needed special oil because I drive a Volkswagen, so it was like $162. Is that normal? Can someone tell me? Because I'm just a girl.
How much does an oil change cost? I actually don't know, but I know who you can ask. You should ask the bear.
My therapist asked me how I've been handling everything, and I said, I've just been taking it one are you kidding me at a time. So.
Name, age, and where you from?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm Shelly. A lady never tells her age, but I will say I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39, so I'm proud of that.
Shelly.
Yes.
You look 39. It's okay, though.
Trout, the only strikes he's thrown have been to first base. 1 ball, no strikes. Still hasn't thrown a strike. 6 pitches in a row. Trout a little uneasy. Again, ball 3. 7 straight pitches without a strike from a young man who is considered a great control artist. Look at that. Nowhere near. 8 straight pitches without a strike. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Strike! Holy cow! And the crowd cheered. Who said he couldn't throw a strike?
Welcome back. 4-1 your score. Braves lead this off here in the top of the 9th inning. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way is swung on and ripped through the infield. That's going to be a leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves. Good hard hit ball up the middle. 1 on, nobody out. Kevin Kilpatrick stands at first, and now in for center field. We've seen him several times over the last few years in spring training. Pitch on the way to Lodi is evens up the count. At the 0-1, sinker misses, 1-1 count. I just saw a pretty good documentary on all that ColecoVision stuff like that, Iron. I just can't remember the name of it, but it was pretty good. I saw it last summer. The 1-1 dribbles at foul, 1-2. Saw one where they were. Man, what game was that? They were following these people. They played a championship, one of the first video game championships, like back in the late '80s, early '90s, and someone followed him around with the camera. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was pretty interesting just because when you compare it to today. I'm a sucker for any documentary that's fairly interesting. 1-2, misses high, 2-2. But what I would love to have, I've been talking about this for years, we almost got one and backed out of it last minute. I wish we would have gotten it, is a stand-up version of Miss Pac-Man. But I want the fast version. I want that slow crap. I want the one that you typically saw in the arcades. By the mid to late 1980s, they moved it faster, not slower. 2-2. Misses high, 3-2. It'd be cool to have one of those ones that you could, they've had it programmed where you could choose between Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, a handful of games. That'd be cool, but Miss Pac-Man is the payoff pitch. Swing, slaps it foul. I used to hustle some folks with little Miss Pac-Man back in the day. Go in there. How old were I? About 11, 12 years old, going to one of those arcades and bet some kid 5 to 10 years older than me that I could beat him. I'd just smoke him. Payoff pitch, swung on, chopped over towards short. Runner was on the move, so it's going to be a 6-3 putout. Barely. Lodice was hauling it down the line, but a runner now in scoring position. Johnny Heel, the batter. Heel is 0 for 4. The 19-year-old facing Vanasco. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Curveball just outside. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, lifts it foul. 0-2. I don't know if I ever had Coleco. I know we had Atari, but I knew people who had Coleco. Good. Thanks for stopping in there, Willis. Wishing you well as the 0-2. Change up. Bangs it down the line. Foul. We'll do it again. Yeah, as far as, now I'll tell you what else was cool, where they sit down where you could sit across from each other. And that's how I remember playing Space Invaders. It's the 0-2 pitch, swing, pulls it foul. My dad had a bar in the 70s, mid to late 70s, and I guess it's what happened in the late 70s, early 80s. And he had the Space Invaders in one of the bars. But the reason why I became such a Miss Pac-Man is he had that in every one of his bars, and when I would go visit him as a kid, is the 0-2. Caught looking, strike 3, fastball on the inside track. I believe four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. That was filthy. 2 down. Heel was hopping like he thought about challenging it, but I guess he's not going to. We should still have one challenge left. That'll make him 0 for 5 on the day, but don't let those numbers fool you. He's been impressive with his at-bats. He had a walk, I believe it was yesterday, I was really impressed by against one of the starters, Major League Baseball starters. Righty-lefty matchup, pitch is inside. Misses for a ball. That's all I want. 1-0. Swing, rips it up the middle, and that'll get into center field, and 1 run will score, and your Atlanta Braves lead it 5-1. Cal Conley infield single through the infield. Evan Kilpatrick comes around to score, and the Braves have a 4-0 lead. There was also another one that I used to love, but it's a football game, and I do not remember the name of it. As the throws it over first. Keep going close by. But I just remember whenever you sacked a guy in this football game, this guy's face would pop up on the screen, and he'd just go, "I eat quarterbacks for breakfast," and we loved that thing. First pitch on the way is down in for a ball. It's 1-0. Now, my favorite arcade game of all time is not a video game. It's the old bubble hockey, USA versus Russia hockey game. 1-0. Swing, chops it over to second. This should end the inning. 4-3 put out, and it does. But not for the Braves. Put 1 on the board. We'll be headed to the bottom of the 9th. Tigers, last chance to tie or win it here in Braves country.
So the best safe word you can use is meatloaf, because it means I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Road Stadium and why?
Oh, Atlanta.
Why Atlanta?
Because I just love the baseball atmosphere. It's just fun to play there.
This division, what's the harder environment to play in as a visiting player, Atlanta or Philly? Really?
Yeah, the baseball atmosphere there in Atlanta is crazy every single day. It could be a Tuesday morning game.
Okay.
And it's still like you're playing Saturday night.
All right.
So.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Hey, don't run from the Lord. Where are you going?
Hold on! This is my favorite. Hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
I'm gonna stab him.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's my favorite
She
movie.
wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog!
I'm not fighting with you.
Grow up,
I'm not fighting
bro!
with you.
Grow up!
If you don't think Mel Ott was one of the greatest players of all time, then you're Ott of your mind. His 42 home runs and 151 RBIs in 1929 were both records for players who were 20 years old or younger at the start of the season. Despite being only 5 feet, 9 inches, and 170 pounds, he led the National League in home runs 6 times. From 1928 to 1945, he led the New York Giants in home runs. This 18-season dominance is a record. He was the youngest player to hit 100 home runs and the first National Leaguer to hit 500 homers. He was the first National League player to have 8 consecutive 100 RBI seasons. Runners didn't dare run on him after his 26 assists in his first season as a full-time player. He hit better than 310 times in his major league career. At the time of his retirement, he had 200 more home runs than the next highest National League player. One sports writer summed up his life perfectly. His death was the worst that could have happened to baseball, but his playing career had been the best.
Welcome back. Royal Pete is talking about Super Mario Brothers. What? I can't remember. Wasn't there a Mario Brothers before that, and the Super Mario is the one that took off? Or did they just jump to the name Super Mario Brothers instantly? I remember there was a cartoon on Saturday mornings with the Mario Brothers. And Bela comes in to spell the bottom of the 9th for the Braves pitching staff. Righty-righty matchup versus Nito. Swing and a miss at the slider. It's 0-1. And 1. Swing rips it high and deep into left field, and she is gone. A solo shot, second home run of the day for the Detroit Tigers. Holy cow, was that ball smoked. .100 miles an hour off the bat, 382 feet later. First pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 5-2 your score. Remember, there are no extra innings in spring training unless they've been predetermined, which they have not. So the Tigers can only tie this or win it. They cannot push it to extra innings or lose it, of course. The four-seam fastball misses 2-0. 2-0 count. Check swing went around 2-1. Yeah, that's what I can't remember, Pete, is what this, I guess I'd have to Google it. But Super Mario Brothers is the one that I always remember that everybody played when PlayStation really took off. The 3-0, swing and a miss, 3-1. I played it from time to time. It wasn't one of my favorite, because that's just such a sports fan. I've always played the sports games, but I remember playing it. Just felt like there was never going to be an end to it. The 3-1, check swing, go around, right there, slider at the knees, full count. I think Miss Pac-Man is the only game that I really got into that's like that. In other words, you can keep playing and playing. Payoff pitch, outside wide, ball 4, so he'll head on down to first. Still nobody out, one on. Callahan, the batter, righty-lefty, pitch at the knees. Right there for a strike, it's on 1. Swing, chops it over to second. It's going to be a 4-6 put out. They try to turn the double play, but I'll tell you what, that was an adventure over there. Anderson grabbed it diving to his left. He underhanded the ball, more like a bowling, like a lawn bowling throw, where he one-hopped it into the glove of the Atlanta Braves shortstop, Graham. And Graham, by the time he pushed it down to first, Verdung, by the time he pushed it down to first, he beat it out. But that was pretty impressive. The first pitch swinging, pops it up high in the sky. Slater will be down on an F9 in your scorecard, 2 down. I think I had that mixed up. So it was Conley who did a lawn bowling toss to short. And it was Lodice who they've moved over, making that play, tossing it to Verdun. So Tigers down to their last out. And the college football Bill Walsh game on Sega was my favorite as a young video game. Against it was early 90s that came out. Most people played the Madden, but I loved the Bill Walsh. 1-0 count. It was the cheat code on the Florida State running back, Sammy Smith. And if you hit the triangle button, he'd bounce off of anybody. The 1-0 pops it up high in the sky. This should end it. F3 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. Got to give a game ball out, I guess, a spring game ball. Offensively, nobody really tore the cover off the ball. So I'm going to give it to a pitcher. And you can do this as a toss-up, but I'm going to give it to Bryce Elder, even though he had the 1 strikeout and 3 hits allowed. It was scoreless. Wentz looked pretty good, but he's got to clean those walks that he gave up in the first inning. He's got to clean that up. So we'll give the game ball to Bryce Elder. Respect your Elder, baby. 5-2 your score, and we will see you. The Braves are off tomorrow, Wednesday, versus the Columbia World Baseball Classic National Team. Should be a fun one. We'll see you then. Braves Country today, we are going to have that later in the week. We have not decided what day, but it is coming. And talk about some of the big picture things for the Atlanta Braves. Y'all have a great one.